my channel. Hello fellas, welcome. My name is V. Today we are going to learn about, it's gonna be a little bit complicated grammar. We call it in Indonesian as tata bahasa. It's pretty important for you to understand part of speech in Bahasa Indonesia. So without any further ado, let's get started, shall we? In English, we know about verb, adverb, adjective, noun, pronoun, conjunction, interjection, preposition, numerals, what else? Well, never mind, we're not talking about English now. So, in Indonesian we have kata kerja, kata sifat, kata benda, kata keterangan, kata ganti, kata sambung, kata seru, kata bilangan, kata depan, artikel, dan partikula. If only I miss something, I'll tell you in another video, guys. In order to make you understand this faster, you don't have to memorize those terms. I'll teach you in another terms. You will be easy to understand. So we have verba, adjektiva, nomina, adverbia, pronomina, konjungsi, interjeksi, numeralia, preposisi, partikel, dan artikula. Alright, verb, verba, kata kerja. Verba dari segi bentuknya, verb in terms of its forms. In English, we know the base form of verb, which means kata dasar or bentuk asal. This form could be used without affixes. Example, pergi, duduk, tidur. Okay? And then we have verba turunan, which means another form of verb that you should use affixes or another word or even reduplication. So, in verba turunan we got 5 types of forms. Dasar bebas, afiks mana suka, dasar terikat, perulangan, pemajemukan. I'll explain this in another video. Adjective, adjektiva, kata sifat. You have already known adjective in English, right? Basically, it's kind of the same. Adjectives are words that provide more specific information about the noun in a sentence, and it has an attribute function. The information can reveal a quality of the noun. Actually, adjectives have various forms as well, and of course I will explain that in another video because it will be such a long explanation. I'll give you simple examples which actually will be part of the forms in this lesson, so that we can quickly move on to the another parts of speech. Baik, kuat, cantik, hijau, jauh, lembut, mahal. Adjective has 2 main types. Adjektiva tak bertaraf, adjektiva bertaraf. And I'll explain in another video someday. Okay, next. Noun, nomina, kata benda. This is also similar to noun in English. They are words to refer to human, object, animals, things, concepts, or meanings. Nomina has so many forms. Maybe I won't explain all of them to you guys. They are too complicated. But I will explain if you want it. For today, we're just gonna learn the base form of noun. Let's go to the examples, folks. guru, kuda, Sabtu, raja, tubuh, lilin, bola, uang, universitas. Okay, enough. Adverbia, kata keterangan. This one also has many various of forms, but I will only mention the best form of it. So same as in English. Basically, adverbs are words to describe an adjective, verb, noun, pronoun, numeral, or even another adverb. Examples: hanya, lebih, hampir, saja, sangat, segera, jarang, senantiasa, selalu, paling, pasti, tentu. There are plenty of adverbs with affixes, but I won't explain now too many categories. Next, pronoun, pronomina, kata ganti. There are forms of pronouns, but I think I'm gonna explain one of them. Subjective personal pronoun. Here we call it pronomina persona. Includes saya, aku, Anda, kamu, engkau, kalian, mereka, kami, kita, dia, ia, beliau. Use saya and Anda for formal situations. If it comes to casual conversation, you could use aku and kamu. For engkau, that's pretty poetic. You can use it in the poetry or stories or something. Kalian is for all of you. If you speak in the front of many interlocutors and you include everyone, just all of them. Apa? Just all of them? You say, kalian mau kemana? Which means, where are you going, guys? You don't use kamu anymore, you use kalian for this. Mereka is just they. Example, mereka sedang membaca buku di perpustakaan. They are reading books in the library. And then, kami and kita. The difference between them are, if you say kita, the interlocutor that you have been talking to includes of whatever you have been talking about. Example, kita tak bisa bersama selamanya. That means we can't be together forever. That's sad. Meanwhile, when you say kami, the interlocutor that you have been talking to has nothing to do with whatever you are trying to explain. Example, disinilah kami berdiri, menyanyikan air mata kami. Which means, here we stand, singing our tears. Actually, that's a part of poetry by Sutarji Kalsum Bahri called Tanah Air Mata. See? The title is really cool. That is a combination between two phrases at once. It should be Tanah Air and Air Mata. And boom! This poetry is really sad actually. Anyway, we're not talking about poetry now. We're talking about kami. So the interlocutors are not included when you say kami. Unfortunately, this word is already rare being used. Only on the literature, like I said. Even I gave you example from a poetry because in the daily basis we almost don't use it. Well, maybe we do, only on the formal forums. We start adopting English, which is use we as kita, whether the interlocutor is in or out of the things. When I say we start adopting English, I mean our teenagers, or at least everyone in my generation, especially the ones who live in Java. Alright, dia is for he or she. I said to you before that no grammatical gender in Indonesian. Whether you are a guy or a girl, you can be referred as dia. Dia also could refer at it. You can refer your pet as dia as well. So basically, dia is for she, he, it. Well, sometimes we also use ia. Meanwhile, beliau is a pronoun to refer someone that you respect very much. You couldn't refer a president as dia. No, you can't. You refer him as beliau. Conjunction. Konjungtor, kata sambung. So conjunction connects to equal language units. While like other part of speech, conjunction also divided into groups. Right now I will only mention conjunction from mixed groups as follows. Dan, atau, tetapi, tapi, walau, walaupun, meski, meskipun, kalau, sedangkan, karena, sesudah, sebelum. Apa sih? Okay. Next. Interjection. Interjeksi. Kata seru. So interjections are words that express the speaker's feelings to make the feeling of the heart, such as admiration, anger, sadness, happiness, disgust, or surprise getting stronger. People use certain words in addition to sentences that contain the main sentence. We have one interjection which can be used in every situation. Ya ampun. Repeat after me. Ya ampun. Actually, this interjection is really natural way to be spoken, but in my village society, don't usually say this. Instead of ya ampun, we call our God to express everything. Like sometimes English speaker does. So you can say, ya ampun, ya ampun, ya ampun, ya ampun, ya ampun, ya ampun. Oh, we have one another interjection which can be used in every situation as well. I just remember it now. Astaga. Repeat after me. Astaga. You can use it in happiness, anger, disgust, disappointment, sadness, almost of the feelings. However, we also have another interjections to express the feelings. Reading interjection. Hi. Hey. Admiration interjection. Keren. Wah, gila. Invitation interjection. Ayo. Yuk. Kuy. Disgusting interjection. Ih, ini, dih. Annoyance interjection. Kampret, anjir, buset dah. Pain interjection. Aduh, oh, aduh. Satisfaction interjection. Asik, mantap. Uhuy. Inferential interjection. Nah, what I mean by inferential interjection is actually a conclusion. When you give advice to somebody and you think you have enough talking, you give the conclusion. Example, nah, bersyukurlah kita masih punya kesempatan. Which means, well, be thankful we still have a chance. Okay. Next, numeral. Numeralia, kata bilangan. We also have many categories in this, including numeralia pokok tentu, the certain main numeral. It is easy, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000, 7000, 8000, 9000, 10.000, 100.000, sejuta, 10 juta, 100 juta, 1 miliar, 1 triliun. That's it. Let's try to read this random number. 6.921. For now, enough for numerals. I'll explain another categories next time. Preposition. Preposisi, kata depan. Just like another parts of speech, preposition also divided into groups. Today I will just mention few of prepositions in Indonesian as follows: antara, bagi, dari, dengan, di, hingga, ke, kecuali, oleh, pada, sampai, sejak, seperti, serta, tanpa, tentang, untuk. I think that's enough. Particle. Particle. So basically, this part of speech is only emphasis for another word. So there are 3 particles in Bahasa Indonesia. First, kah. This particle couldn't stand by itself. It has to be with another word, and it could emphasize interrogative sentences. Example, apakah kamu merindukanku? Which means, do you miss me? The particle stands with the word apa, which means what. By adding the ka particle, it emphasizes the interrogative sentence. But you know what? You could also ask without the ka particle anyway. You can just ask, apa kamu rindu aku? Or even, kamu rindu aku? Like you can also ask in English, you miss me? By adding this particle, you make the sentence more formal and softer. Second, lah. This particle also couldn't stand by itself. It is used in imperative or declarative sentences. Example, pergilah sekarang. Pergilah sekarang, which means go now. Another example, bawalah mobil ini, which means take this car. In declarative sentences, lah particle is used to give a little firmness. Example, dari ceritamu, jelaslah kamu yang salah. From your story, clearly that you are the wrong one. Third, un. This particle could stand by itself. It's used to amplify the meaning of the word that accompanies it. Example, akhirnya ia pun memandangku. Finally, he looked at me. Another example, siapapun yang tidak setuju pasti akan diawasi. Anyone who disagrees will definitely be watched. Okay, next. The last one is artikula. Artikulas are words that limit the meaning of the noun. The words are sang for humans or unique object with the intention of elevating dignity. Example, sang merah putih berkibar dengan jaya di seluruh tanah air. The red and white fluttered victorious throughout the country. See refers to a single or generic meaning depending on the context of the sentence. Example, si bungsu tinggal bersama orang tuanya. The youngest lives with her or his parents. Sometimes si also can be used accompanying people's name. But if you use si, you don't really respect the person. Example, itu tuh si Tony. Para refers to meaning of groups or collective meanings and used to emphasize the meanings of groups for humans who have certain characteristics in common, especially those related to profession or position. In English, you just use s or es to show plural nouns. In Indo, there are ways. One of them, you can use artikula para. Example, para guru, para siswa, para petani, para ilmuwan. Yang forms nominal phrases from another parts of speech that are definite. Example, yang terhormat, yang mulia, yang ini, yang itu, yang pertama. Actually, there are more, but those artikulas are the most commonly used. Wow! You watching me this far? Well, thank you. How was it? I hope my explanation's understandable. And I think that's enough for today. Class dismissed. With always full of love regards, Fee stops chattering.